Ancestor, ancestor, take my hand. Ancestor, lead me on. Ancestor, let me stand. Ancestor, I get tired. Ancestor, I get weak. I get weak. Knows I get warm. Ancestor, through the storm. Ancestor, through the night. Ancestor, lead me on. Ancestor, through the light. Ancestor, take my hand. Ancestors, and lead me on. In my way grows drift. Ancestors, please linger near. When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call. Take my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, ancestors, and lead me on. Hear my cry, hear my call. Take my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, ancestors, and lead me on.
I am that which walks with you through the torrential rains of life without getting wet. I am that which walks with you through the firestorm within, yet fire cannot burn me. I am that which walks with you through the winds of transformation, yet cannot be uprooted. I am the memory whose shoulders you stand on when feet plant on earth. I am the head that came before a book. I am the you in that mirror that you look. Say my name. I am ancestor. I am a gungun. Ashe.
Mojuba, Egun, Mojuba, Egun, Mojuba, Egun, Mojuba. Hear my cry, hear my call. Take my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, ancestors, and lead me on.
Grandmama used to pray, oh Lord, please save them from the evil snares and all the dangers that entangle. Yea, though they walking through the valley of the shadows, just prepare and make them fit for every battle, because I know they bound to come, and I know they bound to fall, but in your bounty, Lord, preserve their beautiful. Right, we still surviving off of grandma's prayers, surrounded by the jungle and the lion's den. Tread light, cause these traps is inconspicuous. They hide right in plain sight, thinking we don't see them when they linger. Look right beneath the surface, then leave a trail of corpses. Crisis, prices, your life a disposable commodity. Like living in this fantasy, conditioned to believe that the system even cares whether selling CDs or walking or driving or reading. Look, they don't even need a reason. It's just you breathing and being black. When it's such a pretty fall, it don't seem like we falling at all, at all. It's just a GMO dream where things are never really what they seem. Please cue the violins, tell them just to play me something pretty, cause this gritty city got me screaming bloody murder. So they got me screaming. This gritty city got me on some. Look, get your hand up on my pocket. Distraction, so lazy they use the same tactics. Like condom with some trinkets, just don't let them get to thinking. That light bulb gets a blinking. You know niggas and ideas. Oh dear, my dear, you may not know me, but I know you very well. Foresight, they say hindsight is 20/20. Well, tell me something, we gotta see that history is on repeat. And maybe it takes a beat and a melody to speak a little louder than the message in the clouds, or the essence in the air. I swear, my God is just so clear that a system driven by fear can never give us nothing but more of the same things. Oh, when it's such a pretty fall, it don't seem like we falling at all. It's just a GMO dream, where things are never really what they seem. Please, cue the violins, tell them just to play me something pretty, cause this gritty city got me screaming. It's murder, it got me screaming, got me. This gritty city got me on song.
What's happening? We are live and direct on this wonderful day, on this powerful day, shall I say. We're here to commemorate Chairman Fred Hampton, 21-year-old Chairman Fred Hampton, chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, along with Deputy Defense Captain Mark Clark, the day which we've dubbed International Revolution Day. And we wanted to, we know it's a lot of activities going on, particularly in Chicago. Wanted to reach out to my comrade, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., the son of Chairman Fred, of course, to talk about what's been happening over the last 54 years and where we're going from here. So we appreciate you all coming on, joining us. We're going to be bringing on Chairman Fred in a couple seconds. So we want y'all to sit back, relax. We'll hit you with a quick video clip, and then we'll be back with Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. This is RSTV, live at Black Power Media. If you haven't heard, and it's your first time logging on, tapping in, make sure that you subscribe to RSTV or subscribe to Black Power Media. We'll be back in a few ticks. We are here, RSTV.
That politics is nothing but war without bloodshed, and war is nothing but politics with bloodshed.
On November 19th, FBI agent Roy Mitchell drew a floor plan of Hampton's apartment based on information supplied by informant O'Neill. On December 4th, at 4:45 in the morning, 14 policemen, 9 white and 5 black, raided the apartment. Deborah Johnson, 8 months pregnant, was asleep in the back bedroom next to Fred Hampton.
The first thing I remember after Fred and I had went to sleep was being awakened by somebody shaking Fred while we were laying in bed, saying, Chairman, wake up, the pigs are vamping, the pigs are vamping. This person that was in the room with me kept shouting out, we have a pregnant sister in here, stop shooting. Eventually the shooting stopped and they said we could come out. I remember crossing over Fred and telling myself over and over, be real careful, don't stumble, they'll try to shoot you. Just be real calm, watch how you walk. Keep your hands up, don't reach for anything, don't even try to close your robe. When I was in the kitchen, I heard a voice, an unfamiliar voice, say, he's barely alive or he'll barely make it. Then the shooting started back again. Then I heard the same unfamiliar voice say, he's good and dead now. And I knew in my mind I assumed they were talking about Fred. And I knew when I left out of there, I couldn't look towards the room.
Party leaders Mark Clark and Fred Hampton were killed in the raid. 4 of the 7 surviving occupants of the apartment were wounded. All were charged with assault and attempted murder.
When they locked me up at the police station, I kept begging them for a call, to make one call. I called, I think, the office, the Black Panther office, and I spoke to Bobby Rush, and he told me that Fred was dead. Fred had been killed.
And I remember walking out of the office and looking through a little clearing over on the next block, which was right in front of the Monroe Street address, and seeing a lot of police cars over there. And at that time, Bobby Rush came to the office. He had just come from over there, or maybe the coroner's office. In any case, we walked back over there, and we both were speechless. We just walked through the house, and saw what had taken place and where he died, and it was shocking. And then I was, I just began to realize that the information that I had supplied leading up to that moment had facilitated that raid. I knew that indirectly I had contributed, and I felt it, and I felt bad about it. And then I got mad. I had, and then I had to conceal those feelings, which made it worse. I couldn't say anything. I just had to continue to play the role.
FBI headquarters authorized payment of a $300 bonus to informant William O'Neill for, quote, uniquely valuable services which he rendered over the past several months, unquote.
What's happening, Chairman Fred? What's going down, my man? How you feeling?
Hey, keeping our head up on this end. The volume a little low. We're gonna do what it do though. We might be expecting some. We still moving and grooving on this day, International Revolutionary Day. Be on the lookout. We look for some representatives from the family of Defense Captain Mark Clark. May also be calling in. I don't know how long. I can be on without the call dropping, because we're going from event to event. But this has been powerful. Today has been powerful. We still riding high. The people, as Chairman Fred would say, too proletarian, revolutionary, intoxicated to be astronomically intimidated. In other words, we just high off the people today. 54 years after the assassinations of Chairman Fred, the fifth of Mark Clark, we still moving and grooving.
No doubt, no doubt. And I know y'all busy today. I know you're rumbling, and I'm definitely happy that you can come on and rap with us.
Hey, is this something I can press? The volume on? Is it on me? Like,
I'm not sure. Can y'all hear us well in the chat? To the folks out in the chat,
it's real low with me.
Real low with you? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
some button I'm supposed to be pressing, like a microphone.
Might be your volume on your end. I'm not sure. We do have another guest on board as well. One of the members of the Clark family, Mama Bridget Brown Jackson. We want to welcome her to the platform as well. It's her first time coming on. How you doing, Mama? How's everything going?
Let me see how to do this.
Doing good. How are you all today?
Good. Good to have you on today. We got Chairman Fred over there. He's working on his technicals. we know how he do. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely glad you can make it on. For folks who are unfamiliar with you, Bridget, can you tell us exactly who you are?
Hello, everybody.
I'm trying to leave and come right back in with this volume. I'm trying to leave and come back in.
No doubt. All right, free him up. Okay, I'm sorry.
Absolutely, no, that's okay. My name is Bridget Jackson. I am the maternal niece of Defense Captain Mark Clark. He and my mother were brother and sister. I was at the time that my uncle was assassinated, only 3 years old. And I just love to always share that my life's trajectory is all because of him. His last words to my mother in being and saying, he had to do the movement and do what he was doing, and pointing to me in the floor playing as little kids do. I had no idea what was going on, and I had no idea about what the revolution was going to land. But 54 years later, we're still seeing the impact of their life, their legacy, the work that they did and put in at the cost of even their lives.
Yeah, no doubt. So for folks who are unfamiliar, because of the fact that, and again, I welcome you to our program. I know you've been on our platform before, Black Power Media, with our comrade Jared Ball.
Yes.
But this is our first time meeting, and I'm definitely pleased to have you on. I've worked with Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. for probably about 22 years, along with Mama Akua, his mother, and the entire family. But I'm definitely, pleased to have you on. For folks who are not familiar with December 4th, 1969, if you don't mind, give us a backstory, a backdrop of how Mark Clark's name came to be in this particular context.
Absolutely, absolutely. My uncle, Defense Captain Mark Clark, was the founder of the Peoria chapter. We are from Peoria, Illinois. Shout out Peoria. Put it on the map. Actually, he was involved, just as Chairman Fred Hampton was, with the NAACP prior, but did not see it moving as how they wanted it to. And so end up finding out more about the Black Panther Party. So he decided to start a chapter in Peoria, Illinois. Was absolutely moving and resonating the community, galvanizing rather the community, and getting some things done. One of the things that we talked about today when we were out on Moreau was the fact that the sickle cell clinics and the information and the things like that happened and went on, that again, a lot of people don't understand and know. I'm telling this one particularly because that was one of the things that was key to him and he really wanted to do. And it literally, to this day, one of my oldest cousins is alive today because of that work that the Black Panther Party did with the sickle cell stuff. So anyways, he started there and he wanted to do more. So he ended up in Chicago with the goal of helping Chairman Fred. Unfortunately, my uncle had only been here a very, very short time. It wasn't even a month. He come here to do some work, had done some things, went back to Peoria, and then ended up coming back. When he got back here, December 4th, we know the infamous day, and those that don't know what happened, we know that it was I love how Chairman Fred Jr. today was talking about our words that we use are very, very powerful. I'm a former educator, and so our words are very, very powerful. It was a terrorist act. It was an act of assassination, not using just the word killing. It wasn't just killed. It was an assassination. It was plotted. It was methodical, and it was devious and nefarious. So we know that, again, it was a lot of intentionality that was done with it. Again, my uncle being the defense captain, he was there, again, to be able to be that person to help make sure that things went right and everything. And that was his goal. He was a behind the scenes, laid back kind of guy, but he didn't play at the same time either. And
That's
so
right.
Chairman Fred can pick it up from here. He back in there and tell, some of the story, the rest of the backstory, but it's a story that needs a narrative that needs to continue to be told, because 54 years later, there are still people that need to hear it, need to know it. Our youngsters, my grandson, for instance, is 10 years old. He tells the story because I've told him the story to make sure that he know that, again, as Chairman Fred said earlier out on Monroe, it's like literally on Chairman Fred Hampton, Chairman Way, that we have to tell our narrative. There's an African proverb that says, if we don't tell it, the hunter will tell it if the lion doesn't tell it. And so we need to make sure that we're telling the narrative and continue to do that. And I love how he said earlier that he was out in a school. We got to be in the school systems and doing it. And that's the thing that I had the ability to be able to do was tell their story in multiple educational systems.
Well, today, instead of allowing the lion to tell the story, we're going to let the Panthers tell the story.
That's right.
We'll go straight to the Cubs. We just lost Chairman Fred that quick, you know what I'm saying? But we know he's notorious with the with his internet activities, so we ain't gonna trip. We'll bring him back on as soon as he get back on. I know he's driving and whatnot. Definitely happy that he's able to come on today to join us. I think that you'll probably have another family member coming on, Bridget.
I sent it to my mother too. I don't know if she's able to get on.
Okay, cool. Well, we got Chairman Fred's back again. You good?
Yeah, we juggling, man. We getting calls from everywhere. People are still coming in. So forgive us, but I just I'm so charged up right now. Again, just I don't know what I missed. My sister Bridget online, but again, just I don't take for granted or take lightly the opportunity. We just literally left. I don't know if she spoke about it. We just left Ground Zero. Is the exact location where 54 years ago the assassinations of Chairman Fred and Defense and Mark Clark occurred, and it's so much. It's so many testimonies and so many families that was out there, but in particular, for Defense Captain Mark Clark, his family to be there. We connected. We go down to Peoria, Illinois, because I don't know a lot of people know that's he's out of Peoria, Illinois. And that's a hell of a history there, the Black Panther Party. And just to be the family of Deputy Minister of Health, Ronald Doc Satchel, they were there today. Members of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party were there. But again, as I said earlier, it's a lot of pain out there, but not no punk sort of pain. Again, not no punk sort of pain. And it's just one way, you can look at it with the apolitical eye. You may get demoralized. You know what I'm saying? Again, you had, the family of Tamir Rice. You know what I'm saying? Breonna Taylor, and so many others. Just even, again, just that with that microcosm of the Hampton and Clark family there. And if you're not careful, you can say, well, damn, you can engage in defeatism. But on the other hand, you know what I'm saying, to see them now, to see them, and you can see people with their chest out, and not just, Bridget, her daughter, you know what I'm saying, people that, Minister Doc Satchel's grandson, daughter, and it's a lot of times we want to wait and, keep certain subjects to a certain period of time that we talk about. I caught that in when she said, about, the age of her son, that he talks about this. In certain communities, I think in Nazi Germany, they if they don't tell their children about what happened in the gas chambers in Nazi Germany, they call it child abuse. It's refuted as they call it child abuse if you don't talk about what happened. And a lot of times, so we want to wait to the appropriate time or Black History Month. But we are so fortunate to have these type of discussions internalized, on our everyday life. So again, I'm on cloud 1,000. And I appreciate our people. We appreciate our people so much, and to be able to, we all dealing with day-to-day contradictions. Situations in our family we going through. The basic survival needs. But without some people, the flyers just technically got made yesterday. We went through different struggles and was put on the flyer automatically, and we'd be like in sync, I hit up Eleanor, Clark, others. There's certain times that people, it's like we can feel each other, and those, the December 4th in particular, it hits hard. It hits at the heart, H-E-A-R-T, and it hits H-E-H-A-R-D, but we connect up, and there was so much community, aside from the speeches and solidarity statements, you could see people just connecting with each other. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. I watched the nods. I watched the embraces. You know what I'm saying? And I watched the connections. And it was powerful. We got some more to do today. We got some more events today. We've been going nonstop. We had a free breakfast this morning. You know what I'm saying? We had the vigil today at 12. We went to the wall. And, man, it's phenomenal. I cannot negate getting calls from the penitentiaries, the concentration camps. Louisiana, where Chairman Fred is buried at. Man, I'm getting pictures right now. They stopping what they doing, fist up in there at 12 o'clock in there. So revolutionary love and respect to all those, with the solidarity.
No doubt. Now, I want to, because you mentioned the name, you mentioned Doc Satchel. One of the things I asked Bridget to speak on was Defense Captain Mark Clark and that night. I know she really did well as far as tapping into giving us an basic idea of who Defense Captain Mark Clark was. I appreciate that. But a lot of people aren't, as I mentioned, you and I, we've known each other for 22 years on the organizing front, Chairman Fred. So looking back, we realize oftentimes that we can't take for granted that people know the story. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people might have been introduced to who your father is from the Hollywood version. You understand what I'm saying? When you first came on, when you was logging on, I played a clip and folks heard William O'Neill speaking, they heard your mother, Mama Kua speaking, so on and so forth. If you could give the people an idea of what led up to December 4th and what exactly took place, because of the fact that, of course, we always get these versions of the story. You yourself, you were actually there in the womb. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I've heard you mention in the past, just on the organizing front, how your first, before you got a stethoscope put up to your belly, you had a 38. So, to your mother's belly, whatever. So if you could talk about what what happened December 4th and what led up to it, because some folks just will assume that, okay, like they said, it was a killing, it was a murder, and not an assassination by the U.S. government. So if we tap into that, we appreciate that.
The system. I mentioned earlier in my presentation. A lot of times, they know us better than we know ourselves. They have psychological profiles, know your potential, who is who, and even today when I talk about different forces that we organize, I see, you can look at their past records, how they dealt with. It's not shocking to hear about certain people. Like even in our life, we can say, I remember I went to grammar school with this person. I can see that in them. And different forces, I got some forces down in Peoria. You hear different stories about Mark Clark before he was a defense captain, before he was with the Black Panther Party. They come from a large family, and I'm fortunate, to connect with the Clark family. And I'm constantly learning. But even Chairman Fred as a child, you hear about different attributes of these individuals, that of service or concern about other people. I tell people, don't get it twisted. You can't pull principle into a person. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I tell people that they say, well, Chairman Fred, why don't you go organize this person? I said, don't get it twisted. My last name is Hampton, not Houdini. I'm not a magician. And a lot of these forces, such as Mark, who became this defense captain, the Minister Doc Satchel, it was like, man, the Black Panther Party was suited and booted for them. You know what I'm saying? And not just being like, a lot of people get it twisted, like saying, okay, if you're mad at the system, but it's coming out to Ernesto Che Guevara said, a revolutionary is guided by the most sincerest sentiments of love. You know what I'm saying? A love for the people. I know that word gets watered down and twisted around, but these forces had a love for the people. I hear stories about, even with his presence up here, they said, Chairman Fred would lay certain things down. So his defense captain Mark Clark was able to catch it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I know my forces, even to this day, in certain forces, so you can pick up on, say they can pick up on it. And I go so far as to say this system again. They study us. They know us better than we know ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And that of commitment, again, commitment, sacrifice, and under contested conditions. I'm going to give a little background or background who we dealing with. Mind you, we still fighting for the exposure of certain papers and the history of surveillance. But you go back and look at a lot of these respective forces, they were targeted by the government even early on. You know what I'm saying? And then with the official authorization of such programs as the infamous COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program, which was created by the former director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, architected by the deputy director of the FBI, William Sullivan, and which at his own mouth said the program was created to discredit, demise, disrupt, and destroy any Black nationalist movements, especially amongst the youth. You had to put the climate where the United States, I think July 1968, they implemented the largest draft in recorded U.S. history. And this they anticipated such uprisings and stuff in certain parts of L.A. They was targeting certain forces. The COINTELPRO, there was different attempts to sabotage the work, the movement, as well as individuals. There were attempts in Chicago. With the infamous brown bag letters, where the U.S. government tried to make contradictions antagonistic between the then Blackstone Rangers, saying that the Panthers are going to take over your territory, so on and so forth. The vice lords, the FBI told the vice lords they give them 16th Street, a portion of the West Side, at the Panther Party opening free medical center on 16th Street, and you hear stories about the newspapers the Panther papers getting down to Peoria, they get burnt up or destroyed before they get down there. And mind you, if I can, kind of struggle to put this in context. This is no social media, no cell phones. You know what I'm saying? Even so it's a different sort of communication. But that commitment I mentioned earlier, to be able to, even though Peoria is geographically speaking, ain't no big long distance, but just a lot of cats look at it different now. But even traveling. You know what I'm saying? To put that, and not traveling just for family reunion, to be committed to travel, to go through the assist with the comrades, some duty calls. That's a different type of, that's a service, you know what I'm saying? That it taps into another layer of, to show who you're dealing with. So after the state, they use they exhaust their remedies, the slander campaign, try to take you out, so on and so forth, and before they result to what the Panther Party say, send you to the revolutionary happy hunting ground. In other words, take you out. And with that, I still learn. In fact, I was in Peoria at an event, and a brother was telling me he knew some guys. We was not an event. We was a birthday celebration for Defense Captain Mark Clark, and he said he used to be with these guys that would come up to Chicago on the west side. This guy say he used to get high. He was demoralized. He say there was an area in the west that they come get drugs from. The police had swept that area. December 3rd, December 2nd, they swept that area, cleaned the area out. They cut off all the lights on the west side of Chicago. They had a group of young brothers who did unofficial security for the chairman. 13, 15 years old. The YMCA sent them out of town on a winter retreat. They had a floor plan. The government was armed with a floor plan, so detailed they even knew what pack of cigarettes might possibly be at. So a lot of us don't believe that we possess that much potential that the system would target us or surveillance us. It was like a strategic move. You hear about weaponry where they able to go in through Afghanistan, Iraq, and send certain missile strikes and hit the individual they want to hit. Now, it was strategic strikes, precision. And they blocked that entire block off. They came in Illinois Bell phone trucks, pulled the other occupants from outside their apartments on that block. Again, came in, bam. The immediate knock on the hood, Tommy gun. That bam, immediately hitting Defense Captain Mark Clark. Still, and you can look at even the bullets. It was going at the head of Chairman Fred. You know what I'm saying? So it was a strategic strike. It wasn't a case of local law enforcement. Just going too far. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, the former Attorney General John Mitchell and former Director FBI J. Hoover can both be attributed to these statements. They said the Black Panther Party, one, represented the number one threat to the internal security of the United States of the Civil War. Two, they said by the end of 1969, the Black Panther Party had to be destroyed. They say they had to be destroyed. So you look at the time of January 17th on UCLA campus, Deputy Minister of Defense Bunchy Carter, the Minister of Education John Huggins. You look at the time as a back-to-back, forcing the political exile. You know what I'm saying? You look at the time of the assassination, when we say when they took two of our twin towers, quote unquote, failed. Again, today, two of our twin towers, quote unquote, failed. That being 21-year-old Chairman Fred and 22-year-old Defense Captain Mark Clark.
No doubt.
Can I add something to that, Chairman Fred?
Please.
You really did a good job of making that. But as you just said, it was very strategic that even down to the people who were there to serve the warrant that really wasn't done justifiably like they're supposed to be. They were they had increased military background and they were trained sharpshooters. So this was not, as I love that he has always said this, Mama Ku has always said this, everybody that was involved there has always said that, the families have always said this is not just a killing, it was not a murder, it was an assassination. And the great thing I love he brought up about the COINTELPRO, out of all of it, even though it was very harmful, it was shocking, but at the same time, they help expose themselves to the masses. And like he said, going back to, we didn't have social media, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have everything that we have now, but that opened up the ability, because of the fact that the Black Panthers were so together and literally galvanized to be able to do it. And I just want to put that in there, that we got to keep on remembering to do that, because when we do, and actually Chairman Fred said something earlier today about somebody coming in and trying to bring stuff. He said something, he was telling a story, somebody had did something and tried to put them in the middle of something. He's like, wait a minute, where y'all coming from with this? If you have a jar of ants and you got red ants and black ants, they will not do anything until the person shakes the jar up with them, and then they start killing and fighting each other. And that's absolutely what tried to happen in the thing that he's saying about all of the political dynamics behind all of it. But the piece is we got to be together. So one of my favorite things of saying is Ubuntu. I am because we are. And we are because we are. And that's the thing, that the legacy that I love to, again, Chairman Fred Sr., as well as Defense Captain Mark Clark, one of the things they were about is making sure that we are Ubuntu. I am because we are. I'm sorry. I just wanted to add that little educational piece in there.
No apologies here.
No, right on. Well said. Real talk. Yes, indeed. Right on.
You know, yeah, and definitely, you know, for both of you to come on, not just you know, Chairman Fred, but you as well, Bridget. You talking about, you know, I know that it's a major day. You know what I mean? Because it's a major day. I'm in Atlanta, and we have folks that are checking out this platform right now, literally from all over the planet. And we recognize that this is a day, not we don't call it an anniversary, because indeed terms matter. This is a commemoration. It is an atrocity. It is a day that African freedom fighters and liberation, those who want liberation, should be you know, commemorated. You know, we should know that this is a day that should not go past without us acknowledging what's going on. And you know, we've seen time and time again the state make efforts to water down this particular day. And one of the things I'm grateful for, I remember talking to Chairman Fred Jr. some years ago, when the whole concept of the movie, when they was attempting to create the movie, I know originally it was called Jesus Was My Homeboy. And I know that it was struggles to make that what it was. And even, of course, we know it still had to have a Hollywood spin, but at the same time, the fact that, you know, that the structure was in line, where the family can have some say so, because it's important. Going back to Jay-Z saying that, you know, I was born on the day that Fred Hampton died. You know what I'm saying? You know, we can't, terms matter. You know, I want to, both of you mentioned, and I'm just getting an understanding that Defense Captain Mark Clark was also a member of the NAACP initially. I want to, I've heard Chairman talk about how that's pretty much where Chairman Fred received his Fed file from, as a junior leader of the NAACP. Can you all talk about that a little bit? Either or.
You kind of froze up. I heard the last part.
Okay. Both of you had mentioned that both Chairman Fred and Deputy Defense Captain Mark Clark were members of the NAACP at one point. And I know that, you know, from hearing you in the past, you talked about how that's where Chairman Fred got his Fed file from initially. Can you talk about that particular time, and why would they be concerned with a teenager, for all practical purposes? Why would the feds be concerned with a teenager in the NAACP?
Well, it was a youth division of the NAACP, and you have to put in context also, like, you know, as I said, I think the Black Panther Party was suited and booted for both of them, their respective calling. And they, as a child, I mean, the files go back. In fact, the government with him, they thought it was a typo that they called it that the wiretap replaced my grandparents' telephone. And he took the junior NAACP about 700 to 300 members, I think, 7.5 month time period. And then it was a contradiction in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I found this out later on too, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where he had, you know, mobilized some youngsters to come from, I think, the Midwest region for this vote. You know what I'm saying? It's not the heights of contradictions, ruffle some feathers. And, you know, we fight. I think back when I went to this funeral service of Stanley Tookie Williams, co-founder of the Crips, and I said, Stanley Tookie Williams grew up in a climate like I grew up in, deprived of such an organization as the Black Panther Party. And I said, never again, not on my watch, you know what I'm saying, you know, organizing. And, you know, I'm taking liberties. I think, you know, like there was so many people, this is no slight on different walks of life or different organizations, but that, I mean, I believe that the Black Panther Party was both for their respective callings. And you know what I'm saying, and the deal is to be able to, you know, but prior to that, you know what I'm saying, that you have different, you know, you have the NAACP, you know, some different dynamics, but to really call a question for, because a lot of times people have to, you know what I'm saying, we have some fights to deal, we got to deal with, you know what I'm saying, make sure it moves, but the system is able to say, if this connects with this, if this connects with this particular time, and in fact, I think in the FBI files of Dr. King, they say, you know what I'm saying, they recognize his eloquent speaking, or they say, if certain, they say, at any given moment, he changed this particular position, it becomes, so they're gonna press full speed go on him. And you've seen after such contradictions, the U.S. aggression against Vietnam, and the assessment from Dr. King and like you seen the government say full speed go, put the pressure on them. And they, with that being said, they able to look at forces such as, you know, so this kind of Mark Clark, Chairman Fred, and you know, and others say, if this connects with this. You know, so we talking, you know what I'm saying, the political powder keg that you're dealing with. And I'm sad to say, be careful with individuals and, you know what I'm saying, people you may dismiss and say, okay, this person's doing this. A lot of times we're limited by like lack of resources, lack of resources, you know, an organizational outline of the structure to be able to do what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? So when that they smelt that when the party was implemented a national, they to be an international organization. You've seen revolutionary leaps and bounds. Again, people try to put in context, you know what I'm saying, that commitment to leave Peoria, put in context, people, you know what I'm saying, communicating from the West Coast, East Coast, and just had that common bond, that common point of unity, and say that up there for that sort of commitment. And they call the system out. You know what I'm saying? That really, you know what I'm saying, it's how many other forces that was deprived of that vehicle, that venue, that had to, you know, work with. So I think even their developments in life, their positions in life before then, some people can look at and say, man, or you know, say, man, I should, you know, it plays a part. You know what I'm saying, with the development, you know what I'm saying, of who they were, you know, so who they came to be. So I think all that, you know what I'm saying, all that you see a certain consistency. I tell people that you can look at certain people in 4th grade, and you can see certain consistency. Say, yeah, I've seen them doing this and that. I can see them doing it. And if we can see it, you better believe the government see it. They watch them. They go to their organizing skills and work what they had to work with. And then the Black Panther Party come in and say, whoa, hold them up. Hold them up.
Right on.
Absolutely. Can I chime in and add with that? One of the things that I do for a living right now, I use psychometrics to help people understand their leadership and everything. Well, we know that the government understood and knew that from young people, as Chairman Fred just said. I'm a former teacher, and so one of the things that we know, prison to pipeline, school to pipeline, prison to pipeline, that
the prison pipeline.
They look at school to prison pipeline. They look at third, 4th grade standardized scores. Well, also, if I look at the psychology behind all of that stuff, if I see some young people that they're able to leverage people and behaviors of people at such a young age, oh yeah, I'm going to put a mark on their forehead because it can't have that happen. Cannot. And my uncle was such so. Again, he wasn't an extroverted type person. I'm very extroverted. He was not extroverted but he was introverted, but he had the power of his mouth, the power of his actions, and again, the processes and systems and things that he put in. One of the reasons why he ended up in Chicago at the state level is because the FBI came in and started shaking that jar with those red and those black ants and making sure that they fighting each other up to the point where the people who were allowing him to have the free breakfast program and everything in their organizations threatened them and shut it down and everything. So it's just, it was a lot of intimidation, a lot of strategic intimidation, because again, they understand the psychology just like we do.
Right on. Here we are 54 years later, 54 years after the assassination of Chairman Fred Hampton and assassination of Deputy Defense Captain Mark Clark. You know, as they say, some things change and some things remain the same. We know that without question, we're not going to get up here and act like, you know, that it was anything else that other than assassination, other than the U.S. government plotting, planning, and scheming. And we know that those things still exist today. Over the past couple years, we know you all have been battling to get the Chairman Fred Hampton House in order. And it's been leaps and bounds. I know that it's now Chairman Fred Hampton Way. Is that correct out there? Where
we still fighting. We're gonna re-implement that campaign with the assassination occurred that to change the name. But in Maywood with the house, the houses that he grew up, we did save the house successfully. Clinch fist salute to the comrades, the people in general. We work on renovation over there right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? So that's updates can be on SaveTheHamptonHouse.org. They can keep updated with that, SaveTheHamptonHouse.org. So so we got that. Working on a few more things too. It's a process, and it's tug and pull. We cannot get comfortable and rest on our laurels and say, "Oh, we pull this up, we straight." Because what I'm saying, the counterinsurgency is like coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? It's constantly readapting, is morphing itself into something else. So we can't get comfortable and say, "Oh, we can straighten that." The counter is a constant attack. You know what I'm saying? You get the hot tea, you think you cured, you straight. It's constant attack, so it's a constant battle. You know what I'm saying? So again, sometimes we go through battle fatigue. So we got to go in that corner, get a shot of water, come on out swinging. But again, be able to distinguish a war from a revolution. War, two occupying armies. They get out a revolution, you gain the mass and participation of the mass of the people. So with that being said, well, the people we can't go as far as we want to go. I might lose y'all. I might lose in a minute. Come right.
Hey, it's all good. I know you all are busy today. It's a heavy, hard-hitting day. I appreciate you all coming on. How can folks stay in touch? I know Save the Hampton House is what you pushing, Chairman. SaveTheHamptonHouse.org.
SaveTheHamptonHouse.org. And you can also see us on Instagram, official Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Facebook, Fred Hampton. And again, make sure y'all, man, the Clark, man, lonely legacy Chairman Fred, lonely legacy Defense Captain Mark Clark. Date again, two of our twin towers. You know what I'm saying? I got the utmost respect. Make sure this date stays in our minds and our hearts. It can stay in contact again. And as I said earlier, matter of fact, hashtag, put that out there, you know what I'm saying? Put it out there, keep it in our conversation. Not just doing December 4th, but in particular on December 4th, man, the legacy of Chairman Fred and Defense Captain Mark Clark. And I'm so honored and humble, you know, to have my sister on here. You know what I'm saying? And again, I met some of the most beautiful people through some of the ugliest situations. You did, and I hate it. You know what I'm saying? But they struck a nerve, and they not telling it's not connections and relationships. It's due to attacks they made. So they like it. We love it.
Right on. We gonna win in spite of ourselves. In the more words of Kwame Ture. Again, we appreciate you coming on. Bridget, definitely honored to have you on. You know, how can people support and get in touch with you? I know you had a loss recently, so our condolences go out.
Yes, our condolences again.
Yes. And whatever we can do to assist on our end, you're more than welcome to return at any time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm out there on all social media, Bridget Brown Jackson. As you said, yes, I lost my son recently, and we are battling with the Flint Township Police Department right now because they are trying to wrongfully convict him posthumously. And so it's a battle and stuff right there. They did not do an investigation. But, you know, again, I always tell people this. I have my grandmother's blood. My grandmother fought for 13 years. Mrs. Hampton fought for 13 years, and they were able to come out on the other side, and we're still fighting. And so I appreciate all of that. I thank you. I only mention that because right now my brain, sometimes I got this grief brain. It's only been 2 months. My son was 26 years old. And so,
definitely.
But again,
now, was he killed by police or was he killed by police?
By the police, okay. But they didn't investigate it. Basically, right on. I say 2 Black lives, didn't care. And so they did not investigate and trying to put the actual murder at his hands, at my son's hands. Right and that we know that's not true. So again, we've already dealt with this, like we just said, about how people can try to use and leverage and things and stuff like that. So it's important for us to keep on telling our narrative.
Right on, right on. Well, we appreciate you coming on. And again, our condolences to you and the family. However, we can assist here, RSTV, Black Power Media, let us know. I'm sure we'll be talking again soon. Stay on point, and you know, we're gonna keep the fire burning around these parts.
Appreciate it. Remembering December 4th, very important. Very
Never
important.
forget it. Right
Yes.
on. Be safe. Talk to you in a minute. Check it out, RSTV. That was Bridget Brown Jackson and Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Today is International Revolution Day, International Revolutionary Day, and we are committed to resistance. Make sure you share this with your people. Let them know. Check out SaveTheHamptonHouse.org. Let's continue to support. Let's continue to lift these names. You know, for folks who missed the last program, the tribute that we did to Sekou Odinga, we'd like to let you know that we raised $10,000. Shout out to my sister Valerie, who's in the chat right now. We raised $10,000 in 3 hours, and you know, it's still room for some resources if y'all want to put something on it. You know, so definitely you know, feel free to do that. I also want to announce to you all something I don't do. Tomorrow is my birthday. You know what I'm saying? I was born 1 year and a day after the assassination of Chairman Fred and Defense Captain Mark Clark. So I can, of course, never forget those particular days. I will be celebrating, we'll be commemorating. I need a vacation. So if y'all want to put something on a vacation, don't trip. You know what I'm saying? We here for it. You know, let me know. I do accept that. But anyway, definitely appreciate you all staying focused, staying on point, and we're gonna win in spite of ourselves. Stay ready for revolution. And this is RSTV, and we out of here. Gotta be safe out there.